Costly win for Minnesota last night as they took a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets. Dante DiVincenzo tore his Achilles early in that game. Guy who started all 82 games this season and now out for the rest of the playoffs. And then later in the first half, it's Anthony Edwards who came down awkwardly underneath the basket.
Jeez.
And so you saw the hyperextension on Edwards on the left knee, and now we're left to wonder what exactly is the status of Anthony Edwards for the rest of these playoffs. And just the man who can answer that question is Shams Charania, who joins us now. So Shams, what's the latest on it?
Ernie, so Anthony Edwards had an MRI late last night in Minneapolis, and sources told me this morning that he has sustained a bone bruise in that left knee with that hyperextension. The good news for him, there's no ACL damage, there's no other ligament, it's not a serious structural issue, but this injury will sideline him for multiple weeks. So he's going to be out through the remainder of this series against the Denver Nuggets, and they're up 3-1. Obviously, last night losing your starting backcourt for the rest of this series. Now they're going to play on without Anthony Edwards, and he's going to start rest and rehab immediately. And guys, he had runner's knee in his opposite knee, the right knee, that he's had a PRP injection in, that he's had to really mitigate a lot of the swelling, the inflammation that's in that knee. So now it's the opposite knee that has this bone bruising injury that will now sideline him for at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
On another front, that game ended kind of in a strange way with McDaniels making the bucket, and he's charged by Joker, and I know the league's going to be going through all that video. Any idea of what punishments might be or when they might be forthcoming?
Ernie, what the league typically does is the day after an incident like this, they start their investigation process. That means reviewing the footage for sure, but that also means interviewing the people involved. So whether that's Nikola Jokic, Jaden McDaniels, we saw multiple players on both sides of the bench here. Rudy Gobert, Bones Highland, at least, and then there was Aaron Gordon and Jonas Valanciunas both leaving the Denver bench. And so what happens with both of them? But obviously, even the players that left the Denver bench, they weren't really involved in the vicinity of this situation. So the league is going to review all this. They're going to interview everyone involved like they always do and come into some kind of ruling here. But talking to people on both sides, there's obviously an expectation there's going to be some fines. Not sure if there's going to be anything more than that. Aaron Gordon's status, whether he gets suspended or not suspended, is very much up in the air with that calf injury.
Shams Charania, great information as always. Appreciate you taking the time this morning. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, fellas, look, if you lead a series 3-1, you win that series 96% of the time. But this is a different animal. You're up 3-1, but your starting backcourt is out. So how do you see this going back to Denver 3-1?
Chuck made a very good point last night. You just have to concentrate on one game. Young fella needs to understand. What's his name? I don't want to mispronounce his name. The guy that came off the bench had all those points.
Battle.
No.
Or Ayo Dosunmu.
Yeah, so Ayo Dosunmu must understand that they're going to treat him like Anthony Edwards now. They're going to adjust, and they're going to say, we're not going to let you get off. And they're just going to, they're going to play a little bit harder in Denver. They're still upset about the fiasco at the end of the game. But, Minnesota just has to concentrate and just buckle down for one game. They have to realize that, Denver's going to have some runs at the crib, but we just got to focus on one game. And that's the game you're playing. You can't say, okay, well, let's just go play and see what happens and then get back home and, try to win that game. It's a must win. It's a must win for Minnesota.
You were not here last night, but Ayo Dosunmu goes for 43.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it afterwards.
What was your biggest takeaway? What?
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck.
When did you watch it?
You just said you went to bed early.
I watched it on the app. Thank you very much.
In the middle of the wedding.
On the app.
In the middle of the wedding.
No, afterwards.
Right when my man was saying, get ready to say, I do. Like, hey, hold on what I do. I'm watching.
In the makeup room, you said
Why you tell a lie like that on national television?
In the makeup room, you said you went to bed at 11 and wedding got shut down.
You were not watching the game.
Thank you, Chuck.
You stop it.
Thank you, Chuck.
So anyway,
back to where we were.
Dosunmu, has always been thought of prior to this as a really good player, meaning he was an All-American in college, an All-American in college, a lottery pick. Then he gets to the NBA, and he's always been a backup guy, a backup singer. And, we'll see a lot of times when you're not on the scouting report, so to speak. When I say you're not on the scouting report, you're not the guy who we're stopping. We're the guy that we might let get some buckets to let things happen. And now you're on the scouting report. And that is now going to be a different environment for him, because when he comes off pick and rolls now, he becomes doubled. He gets into areas of the floor. We have thought process about you. Now, some guys can still do that, and this could be your coming out party, Disumu, or this could be, no, he really is a backup singer. He's not a lead singer. So we will see if this is the Disumu who was drafted and everyone thought could be, and now is becoming that person this series.
Well, I think, number one, it's two different teams, obviously. So for me, Minnesota's got to be Julius Randle. Like last night, we talked about it at halftime. He's got to become Ant Edwards. He's the next best player on that team, and he played great in the second half. Now he's got to take that for the rest of this series. But from Denver, I think Coach Adelman has done an awful job.
Really?
Helping the Joker. Because the reason the kid from Minnesota's doing great, they're attacking Joker in the pick and roll. So if you go back and look at all those plays we showed, they're attacking Joker. But I don't like what Coach Adelman is doing with Joker. Joker is not a post-up guy to go one-on-one. He's got to do a much better job putting Rudy in the pick and roll. Because remember, when those other teams play against Rudy, they attack him in a double team, in the pick and roll. So I think Coach Adelman got to stop just trying to get a ball to Joker, because that's not his game. But put him in the pick and roll and attack Rudy, and that'll help the Joker free up, because he's not free at all right now. Because even when he's making a shot, it's really difficult.
Game 5 Monday in Denver. Nuggets trying to stay alive against the banged-up Timberwolves.
You're right, Dre. Come on, man. Stop lying. You know damn well you wasn't watching the game during the wedding.
No, I didn't watch it.
It was going on during the wedding.
No, there's a call.
Maybe during the reception. It was on during the reception.
They do a repeat on the app.
What, of the wedding?
They do a repeat. So I watched it.
Hey, come on, man.
Fell asleep.
You're seeing 3-1.
Yes.
Okay. It's game 4 between the Cavs and the Raptors. That's what gets us started here today on ESPN. The Jet trying not to cry, talking about his daughter's wedding.
Yeah. Big C. O'Neal.
Big C. O'Neal.
What's up, cuz?
I ain't gonna lie.
You called him, cuz.
100%
You called him, cuz.
Listen, 100% right.
Right there with you, Jet. Right there with you.